democracy sealed by Uncle Sam. This is the slogan that is being raised now, the talk of the hour. The possible cruise missile strikes that are decided to be launched only now by the US after the UK and Germany have abstained, and possibly maybe France in the coming 2 days or so, or maybe France could be joining the strikes. But they've already deployed some warships in East Mediterranean ready to launch military strikes to overthrow a secular government in Syria and replace it with the rule of Al-Qaeda cells, Afghan militants, and political Islam, terrorist militants, and all that. Every time the US administration commits a war crime, it comes under the cover of democracy and securing peace inside the US. However, every time it does so, it endangers the lives of the US citizens and make them lose their popularity among other citizens all over the world. And we're delighted to be joined by Dr. Ahmed Garhy, the political analyst, who's going to talk to us about the possible strikes awaiting Syria. Good morning, Dr. Garhy.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you very much for joining us. Now, I'm not going to talk to you, we will be talking to you about why the United States is striking against Syria, the repercussions and so forth, but let's start by the timing, or the choice of the timing by the United States to send those ships, knowing the situation in Egypt, knowing the situation in the region as a whole, knowing the circumstances that are going to happen after if it does strike Syria. We have Iran, we have the protection of Israel, we have the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. The timing is a bit strange to many people. How is that reflected on you?
Looking at the bigger picture, the United States of America is willing and will always be working towards serving and saving its interests in the region. As we said earlier, the Middle East is one of the most critical places in the world, and for the U.S., it has the biggest existence of the U.S. military maybe around the world. So they do realize how important the region is for them in the first place. Now, looking at the situation in Egypt and the Saudi stand, the U.S. government has been earlier trying to support the Syrian Free Army with weapons, but they thought that this idea might not be very effective because of the nature of the two armies, the Syrian official governmental army and the Syrian Free Army, because when you are fighting against a state, then you are fighting against air forces in the first place. So this imbalance in the equation, they thought that even if they kept supporting the Free Army with weapons, it will never end the war over there. So they thought of let's try to make a strike where we can bring back the balance into the balance. And this reminds you somehow of the Libyan scenario. It started the same when the Libyan revolution started. They thought of supporting the rebels with weapons, but later on they had to intervene to prevent the Libyan regime from using the aircrafts against destroying the rebels. But the intervention in Libya was very fast because there is somebody who is paying the bill over there, which is of course the Libyan petroleum. But in Syria they do not have such natural resources that where they can cover the expenses of a wide war in Syria. So what I do expect is that they are going to attack Syria, but it will not be a wide attack. It will be a limited one, just to set back the equilibrium into the equation over there. So they thought that the best time to do this is while the region itself is concerned with its internal affairs. So, for example, in Egypt right now, we are concerned with our internal affairs in the first place. Saudi Arabia is concerned for the time being with supporting the Egyptian newly intervened. United Arab Emirates is the same. So they will not find a better timing to do this rather than like the current time, where they will be able to do whatever they want and nobody will be talking a lot in their local media or even the international media, because there are much more important events taking place.
Right. I would kindly ask you to take a short break to fix some technical difficulty, and then we'll come back to you. We'll resume our interview. Stay with us. Welcome back. We are resuming our interview with Dr. Ahmed Garhy, the political analyst. And Dr. Garhy, what you said is perfectly right about the perfect timing for the military strikes of democracy to overthrow the secular government in Syria. But there is also Russia and there is Hezbollah who are standing in anticipation, and they're very ready to strike back at Israel and also to defend the territories of Syria. And there is also Israel, who's not really in favor of this military strikes, because they have the bad experience of Iraq, that launched strikes to Tel Aviv in 1991.